In chapter 1875, we delve into the intricate dynamics of two prominent families, the Yorks and the Johnsons. The absence of a daughter in the York family for several generations is a well known fact, which old Mrs. Johnson is keenly aware of. In contrast, the Johnsons have a great granddaughter, and Jane is overjoyed at the prospect of experiencing the joys of having a daughter. However, Mrs. Johnson doesn't seem to sympathize with old Mrs. York's yearning for a great granddaughter. The hesitation to discuss children stems from Serenity's inability to conceive, even after a year of marriage to Zachary. Old Mrs. Johnson is cautious about putting any pressure on Serenity and does not want to raise Grandma May's expectations of having a great granddaughter as soon as possible. This understanding highlights the considerate and open minded nature of both families. The chapter further delves into the background and financial status of the Johnson and York families. Jane, who married into the Johnson family, hails from the well off Murphy family, which adds to her stature. She also holds a significant share of the family's fortune, making her a wealthy woman with billions in net worth. Her transformation into the eldest granddaughter of the Mid Spring Lafayette family has also elevated her status. On the other hand, Serenity is seen as less financially privileged than Jane, given the significant wealth and status that Jane has accumulated. The difference in financial backgrounds makes old Mrs. Johnson appreciate the York family's open mindedness and their emphasis on character rather than financial status when choosing a spouse. The conversation shifts to comparing Zachary with Ben and Remy. While both Ben and Zach are considered good choices for husbands, Ben is particularly praised for his excellent temper, which makes him easier to get along with. Zach, on the other hand, is known for having a bad temper. As the discussion turns to Remy, old Mrs. Johnson expresses her fondness for him. However, old Mrs. York acknowledges that Audrey has been hesitant about allowing Elisa to marry far away. Audrey is concerned about her daughter and doesn't want her to move too far from home. This conversation highlights the complexities of family dynamics, with Audrey's reluctance to let go of her daughter causing tension. The conversation turns to the Farrell family, a notable family in Jensburg. Old Mrs. York, while investigating Hayden as a potential granddaughter in law candidate, explored various prominent families in Jensburg. The Farrell family is revealed to have a unique matriarchal structure, with the eldest daughter wielding significant power. Her interest in the Farrell family suggests that there may be a hidden connection or past history that has yet to be uncovered.